Hey guys, my name is Kelly Jan, and I'm currently an Emerald Ambassador with Plexus Worldwide. And my husband Andy and I are super excited to be coming to you tonight on this call to do a recap of the Plexus convention that we just had just a few days ago in Las Vegas, Nevada. It was such an exciting and just jam-packed couple of days. And I know that it's impossible for us to relay all of the information that we learned in a 3-day period of time in 1 hour, but we are going to try to pack in as much as we can. There was just so much good and valuable information, and I'll pick on Debbie Dumbo, not pick on her, but I'm going to just point out a conversation that I had with her back when she had asked me why should she go to convention, because I had told her, or she had maybe seen in the back office, that some of the training from last year's convention had been recorded. And she said, well, if they're just going to record the training, you know, what's really the benefit in going? And I told her it's sort of like if your best friend or your sister were going to be getting married. Would you want to just see pictures posted on Facebook or watch the video once the photographer sent it back maybe a month later? Or if you physically could be there, wouldn't you want to be sitting on the front row or standing right next to her as she was saying her vows and be part of it? And to me, that really is what it's like with convention. So those of you who sacrificed anything that you had to go on this trip, I commend you for that, and know that, you know, that is definitely not time or money wasted in any way. You are investing in yourself and in your business. So I have asked a few people to help me this evening, and Amy is actually going to be the first person that talks, and she is going to go over 2 of the new products that we had an unveiling of, if you will, and talk a little bit about some new tools that we have to share those products. So Amy, I'm going to unmute you. Are you there? Well, I'm trying to unmute you.
There you go. You got me?
Okay, yes.
Can you hear me? Everybody hear me good?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna...
And just let me know when you need me to. I can share my screen.
Okay. I'm gonna first of all apologize for my attire, but we have some friends over and we're all out doing a night swim by the pool tonight. The pool is almost 90 degrees. So I just came running in from the pool to get to my notes. And I'm also going to apologize too. I'm not sure that I pronounce all of these ingredients correctly. I tried to get on Google and get it to pronounce it for me, but I'm quite sure that Ame Darling will have some videos very soon, and she knows all the pronunciations for these ingredients. But the first one I want to talk about is Edge. Edge, so far, I have only had 1 complaint for Edge. I've only heard 1 person that has tried it a couple of different ways and just does not like the way she feels with it. But it is, you know, the biggest question is, how is it different from an energy drink, or how is it different from other energy products that people use for energy? And the main thing is that it's healthy and it's sustained energy that works fast, and it improves your mood, your focus, your concentration, your outlook, and it doesn't give you that sugar crash at the end of it. The theacrine, I believe is how you pronounce it, is the energy boosting, and then there's an L-theacrine that is the jitter busting, which keeps you from feeling that jittery feeling, or at least that's what it's supposed to do. It does have natural caffeine in it. It's about the equivalent of 1 cup of coffee that you brew at home, not Starbucks and all those other places you go, but 1 regular cup of coffee that you would brew at home. It's about 90 milligrams. There are no unhealthy additives. There's no sugar, no sodium. And it's a long-lasting energy and focus. The one thing I will say is that some of our products pregnant and nursing moms can take. This is one that they do not recommend nursing and pregnant moms take. So just like we do not recommend the boost and the accelerator for pregnant or nursing moms, this is also one that we do not recommend for pregnant and nursing moms. It is gluten-free, and it is 100% vegan and vegetarian. No preservatives or artificial colors, GMO-free, and it is non-habit forming. That was another big one for me. I know that some of those energy drinks and even caffeine, you get dependent on it, and without it you get the headaches and you get all these other side effects. With this one, it is non-habit forming, so you can have it for a week, and if you don't have it, you may not feel quite as focused or quite as energized, but you're not going to have withdrawals from it. So that's Edge. Kelly, did I leave anything off with Edge? You can take it. You can take it in the morning. You can take it in the afternoon. You can take it with all of your other Plexus products that you take. It is only recommended to take one a day. And you can take it on an empty stomach. However, they said that side effects from it can be very different when you take it on an empty stomach as opposed to a full stomach. So I think I'm going to choose to take mine in the afternoon. Even having my Slim and all of my other products during the day, I still sometimes after lunch I get a full belly and just sit down for a minute, and that's just it for me. So I think I am going to try to start taking mine in the afternoon so that I can get through that I'm so tired phase. The block, just like the old block, it blocks 48% of carbs and sugars from your meals. The ingredients have been the brown seaweed blend and the white kidney bean extract. They have both been clinically studied and proven to neutralize the activity of digestive enzymes. So what those two do is it just slows down the absorption of carbs and sugars. It is also gluten-free, and it is also 100% vegetarian. I looked back through my notes, and I cannot find where they said exactly what they did to change it to make it fast-acting. I think I went through the website. I went everywhere I could think of to look, and the best I could find was that it was just reformulated. Kelly, do you know exactly what they did to change that?
Part of it, too, the biggest thing that they changed is the capsule itself. And so now it's a fast dissolving capsule. So I'm going to actually share my screen and take you to the back office, and Amy can talk a little bit about where you can now find lots of good resources, both for Edge and also for Block. So hold on one second. Let me share my screen.
I do believe they have these shareables for all of our products now, or is it just Boost, Edge, and Block?
Just Edge and Block.
Okay. So
if you can see my screen right now, and once you're in your back office under Tools, and you click on Shareables, then this is what comes up. And you right now, right there where it says Browse by Product, Block and Edge are the only two that are available.
Yes.
But if you click on either one of those, you have the ability to pull videos, digital brochures, images, and downloads for each one of those products. So I'm just going to click on Block to show you. If you've not been using these, this is a huge thing that you now have at your disposal. And what's also very awesome about this is that once it is shared on social media, when people click it, it brings them to your website. So for example, if you wanted to put this video about why you need Block, right here where it says share on Facebook, if you click share the F for Facebook or Twitter or Pinterest or as an email, then that will allow you to then share this piece of media. And you can scroll down and you can see other types of media that are here, digital brochures that you can download, images that you can use your Facebook. And so know that everything that's here that's in this tool section is compliance approved, which is a big deal. And compliance is working with Plexus marketing in order to have these types of products available to us for all the products, for Slim, for BioCleanse, for ProBio 5, for Accelerator, for Block, and on and on and on. So that'll be happening over the next few weeks and months. The other thing that I picked up at convention were these two brochures, one about Edge and the other about the new block. And these brochures are available also in your back office in the My Plexus print area. So if you've never looked at this Plexus print area, lots of great information. You've got the Plexus newsletter here. You've got the what if this could change everything brochure that came in your welcome kit. You've got the cards that you can put a stick of Slim to. There's all kinds of brochures. So if you've never taken a look at the My Plexus print, that's also something that I would recommend taking a look at in your back office. Anything else you want to share, Amy, about those two products or the shareable document?
No, I did print off tonight. Just you were talking about these cards, the brochures that we bought at the Plexus store. Go outside, please. These are you get 25. Yes, a pack of 25, and they're professionally printed. They're on cardstock. Really, really nice. And they were only $8. Just to show you, I did print off from the printable brochures from the shareables underneath your tools. And I mean, you know, it does the job, but I don't know if you can see. I'm going to try to hold it where you can see it. It's just on computer paper, and I stapled down the edge. I did use a paper cutter to cut off the edge. But I seriously think that you would spend more in ink and paper trying to print these off. But I don't think they're quite as professional looking, but if you needed it in a pinch, it's there. But I just kind of wanted you to see what that looked like, what the difference was.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Amy.
Sorry.
All right, I'm going to go ahead. It's okay. Hey, listen, we build this business with our families in tow, right? So you are muted. The next person I'm going to call on is Annette. Annette is probably the person that joined the Plexus business that went to convention the most recently. And let me get you here so I can unmute you. All right, you're unmuted. And Annette is going to talk a little bit about a brand new program that Plexus is offering called Club 300 and Club 500. So I hope that you guys are all taking lots of notes because this is some great information. So, Annette, are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, good. I'm on a hotel Wi-Fi, so I didn't know how that was going to work out for me. So I was really excited about these, this new Club 300 and Club 500. We also got an email about it as well. So I'm going to be kind of looking back and forth at that information. But basically, there is two different levels. The Club 300 is that you have $300 in PV every single month, consisting of 3 customers, and you have to add 1 new customer per month. The next is the Club 500. Club 500 consists of obviously 500 PV. You have to have 5 existing customers, and you have to add 3 new customers per month. So basically, this club is going to run from June 1st, 2016 through March 31st, 2017. It's going to constantly be going on, but they're going to be doing recognition for it at convention. So that's kind of when they're going to start, you know, measuring what someone does as far as whether they're in the club or not. If you get 8 out of 10 of the months, then you're going to get some special recognition at convention. Also, they said if you were part of Club 500 for June, July, and August, you were going to get some sort of like VIP at leaders retreat. So I was like, I'm all over that, you know, because after seeing all the VIP at convention, I'm in it. I mean, there's no way I'm not going to be a VIP ever at any kind of Plexus event again. Just saying. So that was really cool. Now, some of the other things that you'll get are you also, for the Club 300, you will earn standing recognition if you get it 8 out of 10 months. You'll also get a Club 300 Padfolio to show off your success all year round. For the Club 500, you will get a custom co-branded rustic cuff bracelet. We saw a picture of it. It was really cool looking. Or there's a custom co-branded leather right band for men. So we're leaving out the man ambassadors, of course. And they will also retro back starting at the beginning of June. So it was a really, really cool new program that they were, kind of really, talking about. And convention was amazing. So for everybody that went, it was a great experience. And we got so much information. And this huge club thing was just one thing that we got that was awesome. That's it.
Thank you, Annette. So the main thing that our company is doing with Club 300 and Club 500 is not only to recognize ambassadors who are building their business and who are consistently keeping their customers happy, they're performing good customer service, but they're continuing to add new customers. But what this is going to do is it's going to raise our pay point. So you all know that in Plexus, the real money is in the pay point. And if you're making $2 a pay point, just to give you an example of, let's say you've got 1,000 pay points. So as an Emerald Ambassador, you have to have 1,500. So let's use 1,000 because that's a very easy number for calculations. If you've got 1,000 points and we're getting paid $2 a pay point, then you're getting paid $2,000 in that area of compensation for Plexus. Well, as more customers are added into the fold and into the company as a whole, those pay points go up. So now imagine that pay point is at $3. Now you're not making $2,000, you're making $3,000. There was a time in not the too distant past when the pay points were almost $4 a piece. And again, you can do the math. That's the difference between $2,000 and $4,000. And I really believe, and in talking with some of the other Jules and some of the other folks that work for Plexus while we were at convention, that is what Club 300 and Club 500 is going to do. It's going to start to systematically raise the pay points across the board. So super excited about that. Thank you so much, Annette. I am going to mute you, and I'm going to go to Andy. Andy is, I don't think he's actually dialed in. Are you? Okay, so he's dialed in. Well, I don't have the ability not to unmute you. Are you dialed on your phone? Okay, I see you there. Okay. So for those of you who have met Andy, he is my husband, and we are building this Plexus business together. Now, that hasn't always been the case. In the very beginning, it was just me building the business, and so many of you have met Andy at different events, and for any of you who went to convention, that was when he really decided, like, this is real. I'm ready to jump all in. And so we're going to start to do more and more trainings and different things together, which is super exciting. And so for those of you who don't know, Andy is a senior Ruby ambassador. So we have worked strategically on how we're building our business. If you've never watched my training on how to build a business under your spouse, I would highly recommend looking at that, because it's a way that Plexus allows us to almost get paid twice. And so for people that have a spouse who, even if they're not wanting to actively build the business, just like Andy did at the time, it's a way to be able to make a significant amount of income and be able to sort of double dip, if you will. So I'm going to pass it over to Andy. He went to a meeting at convention called the Men of Plexus. And so I wanted to share a couple of things that were his main takeaways from that meeting.
Well, so hi, everybody. For those of you who were at convention and saw the Men of Plexus training on the schedule, 7 o'clock Tuesday morning rolled up awfully early. 6:15 was there, and I thought, I don't want to be down there with 30 other guys just listening to a couple of people talk. But I drug myself out of bed, walked down there, showed up maybe 5 minutes early, and to my surprise, I couldn't get a seat. It was standing room only. There were over 1,000 guys in that meeting room. I really, at this point, I wish that every single guy who was at convention had gone. It was an eye-opening experience. There was a panel of a number of 4 or 5 men talking about their journey with Lexus. Now, only one of them was actively building it. Out of the 1,000 people, the 1,000 men that were there, I would say probably 90 to 95% of the men there were strictly there to support their spouse and not actively building the business. The other 50 to 100 men were there actively building. It was interesting seeing and talking to the different people who were building the business, who were there supporting. The common thread through, I would say, 99% of all the guys was that they were skeptics. Most of them didn't want their wives to start building the business. They didn't believe in not necessarily the products, but in the business, in the network marketing portion of it. There was a sense of, hey, I don't want to be the guy whose wife is out there, in this network marketing business. Nobody's ever seen anybody succeed with this. We've only heard bad things about this. No, we don't want you to do it. That was the common thread throughout most of the guys that were on the panel, or all the guys that were on the panel, and most of the guys in the room. Over time, however, watching their spouses succeed and move forward and grow, obviously that skepticism has turned into belief and support. The guys, most of the guys, or all the guys in the room, are there to support their wives or support their spouses, because they wouldn't have been in that training otherwise. For the few men who were actually building the business, when they first started, the common thread there was, wow, can I really do this? It seems like a woman-dominated industry. By industry, I'm talking network marketing businesses in general. I mean, you hear about Mary Kay, you hear about some of the other party plan Tupperware, you name it. I guess if there was some sort of power tool party plan, maybe we would do it, but I don't think there is such a thing. So the guys are fully supporting their wives in this case. A lot of this, as you well know, is being done after hours, in the evenings. Most everybody has jobs that they're working, or things going on during the day, families. So a lot of what has to be done is done after hours. Times that, if you're running a Zoom call at 9 o'clock at night, well, somebody has to take care of the kids, or somebody has to make dinner, or somebody has to give baths. Everybody there was extremely supportive of their spouse and building the business, and doing what needed to be done in order to give that person the time to do that. So that was an excellent takeaway from that meeting.
All right, thank you so much. So you're going to be seeing more of Andy as we are co-training on things to come. So thanks, Andy. I'm going to mute you. The next person that's going to share is Debbie. Debbie also went to the Plexus convention. Let me unmute you, Debbie. And the thing that she's going to talk about, so on Tuesday morning, I believe it was Tuesday morning, it could have been Wednesday morning. All my mornings are running together at the Plexus convention. But we had breakout sessions based on rank. And so Debbie and then Lori are going to talk a little bit about some of the things that they had as takeaways from the silver meeting. And the reason that I have two people sharing about that is because most of the people on our team are silvers, or they're working towards silver. And so Debbie's going to share a little bit about the main thing that they talked about in the silver training, which was how to use your success kit that you get when you order your welcome kit with Plexus, in order to not only train your team, but also to talk to prospects. So Debbie, I have you unmuted.
Hey guys, that was my main takeaway from the silver training, was the success kit. When I first started back in the end of November and I received my success kit, I can tell you that I probably browsed through it maybe 15, 20 minutes most. I never used it. I never looked at the tools in there. I barely really even knew what was in there. And when they pulled out the success kit, when the vice president of marketing, I think her name was No, the ambassador of, what's her name? Kelly, Ann Luciano. She was the vice president of ambassador education. When she pulled out that kit and showed me everything.
Oh, Marianne.
Yes. When she pulled out that kit and showed me everything that was in there, I could not believe it. I had to hurry up and run down to the store and grab everything that was in there. Because if you cannot be successful with everything that is in that kit, you're doing something wrong. She was explaining how much time and energy goes into putting this kit together. They talk to the jewels, they talk to customers, they do research, they do marketing, they talk about, things that are going to help people be successful in the business, and they've got everything you need in that kit. The first thing I wanted to show you, though, was called the Quick Start Guide. And it was the 10-step. It's the first thing in the kit. It's the 10 steps to start your Plexus business. And if you look at these steps and follow them 1 through 10, you're going to be successful in the business, because they talk about be a product of the product, get to know your ambassador success kit. You have to have your why as to why you're doing this. When you're presenting the opportunity to people, you have to know what your why is. You have to set down your business goals. You have to put it in writing. You have to have it on a board in front of you. You have to have it in a notebook. You have to have it with you at all times. You have to always be in connection with your sponsor and upline. That's really important to be in touch with them, because they've been in the business longer, and they know, how to help you get over hurdles and things like that. But they talk about your Franks list, face-to-face gatherings, how to set up your back office, how to work the Plexus Learning Center, and how to just stay connected with your upline and stay connected with your customers through sip and sees and opportunity calls. And the opportunities that are available in your area is very important to go to, because it's going to build your connection, and you're going to have more connections with people, that have different ideas as to how to build your team. So that was the first thing that I found was very important in the kit. Then also she talks about the Learn to Earn booklet, which is the compensation plan in absolute detail. There's 37 pages in here, and it goes through every single bonus, how to achieve it, how to get there, what it does, how to work with your upline to receive the bonuses. So that is in the kit also, which I found was very useful to me, because to me, when I first started, the compensation plan was kind of confusing. And I mean, sometimes it still is to me. So now I find myself pulling this out a lot. So that was in there. And also, the other thing that was in the kit is, this is called What If This Could Change Everything. This is a little booklet you can take with you when you have opportunity meetings with your customers. And it just talks a little bit about what Plexus is, how they started, what makes us different, how the products work, what happens next once you sign up being an ambassador, just kind of a little bit of overview as to what it means to be a Plexus ambassador. So that was in there, which was absolutely amazing also. Then my favorite part of the kit, which Debbie Revis already knows, are these business cards that come in the kit. The front of the card is a picture of the product. And then on the back of the card, it explains exactly what the product is and what it's for. I mean, how cool is that to have these with you when you go talk to customers and they ask you, okay, so this Edge product just came out. What's in it? What does it do? You're going to have this card eventually with the Edge in there, and you're going to look at it. It's going to have pictures, and you can just turn it over, and just everything is on there. Everything is on there for you, so that your customers can see exactly what's on there. And what Debbie has done, which is what I'm going to do, she took hers to her office and she laminated them, and then she got a big ring and she put them on a 3-ring, like a binder type thing. So she carries them with her everywhere she goes when she has opportunity meetings. So to me, this is a no-brainer. You have to have this with you everywhere. And I'm actually thinking about buying another one, or just making my own copies just to have 2 sets of these, because these are invaluable. Because you know how you get confused about products when you're talking to people. Some of them are very similar in what they do, and I just think that this is a lifesaver, I think, for Plexus ambassadors. If you don't purchase this success kit, you're really, really missing out, because it really, really goes through in detail everything it means to be an ambassador. And then the last thing that was in the kit that I thought was amazing, this is another 75-page brochure that goes through, it's called Let's Get You Started. It goes through every single question you could ever have about being an ambassador, how to connect with your upline, how to get SIP and Cs together, you know, just how to go work your back office, how to network market, how to market on Facebook and other network marketing places. You know, how you have to have your why and your goals and your Frank's list. I mean, everything you would ever need to know about becoming an ambassador is in here. So if you do not have this kit, I really urge you to go out and purchase it. I have, since convention, I've probably looked at it probably 5 times. So that was my takeaway. My aha moment with convention was I could not wait to go to the store and purchase the kit. It's absolutely amazing.
So that being said, Debbie, now you started with Plexus before that kit was available. Yep. And right now it's still not available for people to purchase that didn't go to convention if you started. So when people ask me, why should I tell people to get a welcome kit? Well, to me, it's a no-brainer that you're going to be able to get a triplex combo for $99. And then you get that success kit for free. Awesome. I mean, that alone, for people that say, I can't or I'm not going to get a welcome kit, I don't really know that I want them to join my business because they're already setting themselves up for failure from day one. They don't have any of those training materials, none of them. And the one brochure that Debbie showed, the What If This Could Change Everything, that is something that you also can buy more of in packs of 25 in the My Plexus print portal, that one that Debbie's showing right there. And that is something that you can walk through each page with a prospect and then leave that with them so that they can continue to look over it. I have been so stingy with mine because I only had one of those that came in the kit. And so I've used it and used it and used it almost to the point where it's just a ratty mess. So I made sure that I bought extras when I went to convention because up until now, they haven't been available to purchase a pack of those. So very excited about that. So thank you, Debbie. Again, aren't you so glad that you came to convention? Oh my gosh.
Absolutely. I can't even imagine where I'd be right now if I hadn't gone. I'd probably be in a ball of tears in my room right now.
Oh my gosh, you're so cute. All right, so I'm going to mute you. Thank you so much. And next, I'm going to have Lori share. Let me scroll down so I can unmute Lori. So one of the things that Lori and I have in common is that we both used to build the same network marketing company in the past. And one of the things we talked about in Vegas was how much money we spent over the 3 to 5 years that we were involved with that company on training materials, on books, on motivational tapes, on conventions, and other types of training days that we had to go to, and meetings, and just the list goes on and on and on and on and on. So the fact that we have so much free training already at our fingertips just through YouTube and through different meetings that our upline have for us on calls like this is mind-blowing. But I want Lori to talk a little bit about it. She has a couple other takeaways, maybe from the silver training, and one new training portal that we're going to have available to us at the beginning of July. So Lori?
Hey guys, can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me? Okay, great.
Yeah.
Kelly is so right. We spent hundreds and hundreds of dollars a month just in training with our other network marketing business. And so one of the things that I want to talk, Kelly asked me to talk to you about, was the success on demand. And I sat there and literally about fell out of my chair when they announced this because of what we were just talking about. Kelly, am I right that it's going to be an app? That's what I got. That was my take. It was going to be an app. And
it's an app, and also you can access it from your computer.
Okay. And it's supposed to start sometime in July. They didn't give us an exact date on that. But what they're going to do is monthly, they're going to have a theme. Say leadership is July's theme. They're going to have a book and other training materials that go along with that theme. So they were telling us about that, and then they said, so they're going to have monthly themes, monthly books we're going to have access to, monthly training materials, And then they said, we're going to have full access to that right off the bat, which about blew me away. And then they said, and guess what? It's going to be absolutely free to ambassadors. And I literally, I mean, I know everybody sitting around me, I was just in shock. I just could not believe that. Just amazing. And it just proves to me that the integrity of Plexus, and going to convention, you get that. You get the word integrity just kept coming up with me with how much they truly want to see their ambassadors succeed. And they give us all the training tools to do that. So did I miss anything on the Success on Demand, Kelly?
So Success on Demand. So Success Magazine has partnered with Plexus, and they have a paid subscription that you can get on your own to be able to access all that training that Lori just mentioned, as well as books like Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Think and Grow Rich, Bringing Out the Best in People, and on and on and on and on. And if you have a subscription, you're able to read those books like you would almost on a Kindle, on the app, or they have the audio versions of these books. So all of that is what Lori's talking about is going to be completely free to us as ambassadors, which I am just, like Lori said, blown away.
Okay, so thank you, Kelly. The other thing that Kelly wanted me to talk about was a few takeaways from our silver training. And again, I was blown away. I went to conventions with our other company, and we never had breakout training sessions ever. It was unheard of. So I literally took 10 pages of notes in the silver training, and for Kelly to tell me to pick 4 takeaways, I was looking through, I'm like, oh, but I want to say that. I want to say that. But we had 4 diamonds. Haley DeJacque was the MC and introduced everybody, and then she talked. But we had 4 diamonds who shared their heart with us and gave us tips. So not only, it wasn't just them talking to us, they were actually giving us tips. So one of them was Sarah Marble, which she is amazing. She talked about the elevator speech. You need to know your elevator speech. If you're standing in an elevator and someone says, what do? You need to immediately know what to say. And she gave several examples of what you could say, but just say somebody asks you, what do? You could say, I'm an ambassador. I'm a Plexus ambassador. Or you could say, I provide people with the opportunity to improve their health and wealth. Which one would you like to hear about first? So
I love that.
Which one sounds better, right? You know, so she said you need to be prepared with your elevator speech. So yeah, I love that. She also said, do not stop people, but become an active listener. She said, you know, she was at a gym. She heard somebody talking about having that they just always looked perky or seemed perky all the time. And she said, you know, I feel like I've had more energy too since I started using my Plexus products. Have you ever heard of it? So, you know, she just gave example after example of ways to talk to people. And she also impressed me. One of the things that Debbie showed was the product cards. Sarah Marble is a diamond. She said she keeps her product cards with her all the time. She literally pulled them out, go into a convention, and talk to somebody about the product. She said, don't be afraid what you don't know. You don't have to know everything about everything. Like Debbie said, use that success kit, use your product cards. And Rebecca Folks is a young diamond. They're so amazing. And she talked about social media. And she said, being active on social media, Facebook is not an option. You have to do it. She gave us a statistic that Facebook gets 1.59 billion daily users. I mean, that is huge. And Instagram is 500 million users. So it's not an option. You have to be involved in social media. And she also said, remember that you're the face of Plexus. So what you post, what you see is what people are going to relate about Plexus. So you need to be positive in what you post. And she had a rule that what she used to post, which was the 10-4-1 rule. And she said you should post 10 non-Plexus posts with about family, hobbies, animals, inspirational, to 4 indirect posts, like you went shopping or you people know, they're watching you enough to know that you're maybe not working now, you're retired, or you went shopping or whatever. She said those are all indirect posts. To one Plexus post about a testimony or your team or a product. And she said that people are going to buy you before they buy your product. So how you present yourself is very important. And then Brenda Martin, another diamond, she's the mom of 11 children, and she talked about your why. And she just amazed me. 11 kids, and she built this business to diamond. She said that your why is your long-term vision for success in your business, and that you have to create a vision that makes you want to jump out of bed in the morning. So I can tell you that my vision has not been big enough. I need to find a bigger vision. Be specific in your vision and your why, and definitely have a dream board. And that there's so much power in belief. And she said, hope is what brings you into the business, and belief keeps you in. So I can tell you that I had an excitement about the business. I saw it was happening with Kelly ranking. I've watched Amy rank, Kelly rank, Melissa rank, other people rank to gold. I was believing, but there was nothing like getting the big picture of convention to really drive home the belief on what we have our hands on. And she gave us a quote from Henry Ford: whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. So the belief is just there. I mean, to end that with the belief, convention is total belief. And you need to be there. If you weren't there this year, you need to be there next year.
That's right. So, guys, when I went to convention last year, I went by myself. Melissa was there with myself and 3 other people on her team. This year, Melissa went back with over 80 people on her team and 4 jewels in her downline. And I went back as an Emerald Ambassador, and there were 33 of us in total. So think about all of you that went to convention that are on this call. For you to have 30, 40, 50 people on your team that are there next year, and you guys going up on stage as an Emerald or above. So super, super excited. So, I mean, and I don't want to wish anything away or hurry up or anything like that, but believe me, June will be here before we know it. So thank you so much, Lori. I'm going to go ahead and mute you back. So Duffy Marie is going to share with us next. Duffy Marie actually went gold. I don't know if it was Duffy Marie was on the very last day of May. I don't think you're muted. Maybe you are, just kidding. Now you're not.
All right,
muted.
hold on. I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, I might put the microphone in to see if I can hear you guys. So I'm not hearing you. Hold on. Hold on.
Okay.
Okay, can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yes. Okay. Sorry for the hair.
So
I did yoga.
That's okay. So, yeah, I just was teaching my class as well, so no worries. I was just sharing with everybody that you went gold, and you were pushing so hard because you knew that you wanted to be able to be part of that gold and above training.
It was.
And you made it. And so was it worth it?
It was. It really was. And but also what we were talking about back in our room after that whole amazing day of training was like we wanted to be a part of every training. You know, like because I mean and Kelly, you know this. I mean, like our success kit when we joined was not the success kit that everybody else got. And so now they did touch a little bit on it, which I thought was sweet. So the diamonds, they kind of, the first part of our training, they talked about some of the things like key learnings and then dialed it back to specific parts of our success kit, but didn't go into detail of how important it was because they knew that was being, you know, handled in our silver training, and we probably would be able to gain that information from our silver ambassadors on our team. But when we were like reliving our day, you know, Casey did ruby, Aaron and I did gold, and then Rachel did silver, and we were all like trading stories about how great our training was. So in all, we got amazing training by our leaders because they've all been where we were. And that was the best part. You know, like it wasn't corporate trainers coming in that had never known how to do our business. Like everybody was an ambassador everybody was a silver ambassador, everybody's a gold, a ruby, and like they've all gone through the same growing pains we all have. And one of the so everybody who's on the call that's not gold yet, or even who is gold. So what they said, they started out by saying, everybody can get gold by themselves. You can get a senior gold with one runner, but you can't go beyond without a team. So, and they looked at all of us in the room and they're like, we don't want to see you in this room next year. So we're going to give you the training and the tools that we've learned to not sit in the gold training next year. We want you guys to be in ruby or above training next year, which was great, and those were our peers. I mean, anybody who works in business is our peers. So I thought that was really important, and I circled that and highlighted or whatever. So I know we only have 5 minutes, so I'm going through my notes right now. One of the things that I thought was key, and it's something that I'm learning to do now only because I don't have any runners, but I'm not really reaching my ambassadors, and I'm not sure why, but it's because I haven't labeled them about how they want to be reached. And it's going through the 4 colors of the network marketing personalities, which I need to study more up on. But also, so if they're not responding to a text message or a Facebook message, they need a phone call, and it's going through your list and making a list of all your ambassadors and doing, I'm a spreadsheet girl, so I would probably do it in a spreadsheet, but you could do a little, jot on the paper and just kind of put what your team needs. So one size does not fit all, and that's so true in every aspect of life. So if we can identify our ambassadors, maybe there's 3 people who love, their blues. So they would love to go have a glass of wine and talk about the business. So let's not spend our time like emailing them information because they're not going to read it. So I thought it was very important of going ahead and putting all your ambassadors, even if they're not runners, if they're in, if they're wholesale customers, that's totally fine. Because at one point they might go the next level. But you can see how they respond to the way you communicate to say, all right, they're not going to respond to an email. I have ambassadors that call me. I'm like, how do I take my product? I'm like, well, I emailed you specific instructions. And they're like, yeah, I didn't read it. So now I know, like, next time, like when they get a new order, I need to call them and say, here's how you take your products. So if I can't communicate to them the right way, they're never going to be able to communicate to their customers the same way, And that's a duplicatable thing. If I figure out a way to reach out to my ambassadors the way they like to be communicated to, then that's going to be better for everybody. So I thought that was really good. And we talk about how we label customers, but it's also really our ambassadors as well, because ultimately they are our customers and they're promoting our products. So I thought that was really good. And
one last takeaway.
Oh yeah. Oh shoot. Sorry. Well, one thing that I thought was really good, and this would help everybody. They gave some time savers. So, because they're like, okay, we all have a limited amount of time to do what we need to do, right? And so how do you make that chunk of time more impactful? And one of the things, which I'm still learning how to do, was create shortcuts for the things that we text or email all the time. So it was Jen Hawkins who was doing this, and she has, so one of her, is on your iPhone, if you go to accessibility and keyboards, there's a keyboard shortcut. And so for her website, so it's, shopmyplexus.com/say Jen Hawkins. That takes a long time to type out every time you want to give somebody your email. And there's a shortcut. So she just put her shortcut as my web. So every time she types out my web all in one word, it puts that out there. She's like, that saved me like hours. And we're all like, we want to know how to do that. So yeah, so that was huge, and she did it for everything. But she also said you could do that for, say, like the block page that talks about the benefits. Like go ahead and create a, like my block. You need to make it something that every time you write blog, it doesn't replace it with an email address or a URL, but something that you want to type a URL in. Go ahead and just create a shortcut that is very specific, but that you don't have to keep typing it out. She's like, if I meet somebody at a soccer game and I want to give them my website, all I do is my web and it sends them my website. So I thought that was pretty.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I know that you guys maybe think I'm kidding, but when Lori said that she's got 10 pages of notes from the silver training, Debbie probably has a different 10 pages of notes. Debbie has another 10 pages from hers.
Oh, it's amazing. Yeah. And you guys, I just started learning to use my iPad for notes, and my notes are awesome. They are like color coded and highlighted. But yeah, and this is another thing. if you want to be a diamond, work like a diamond does. You know, so we just got trained by diamonds. So do the things they told you, because they are diamonds, and they didn't start out as diamonds. They all started like we did. But if you want to be a diamond, work like a diamond does.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Stephanie Marie. I'm so glad that you made it to convention and that you.
Oh, I loved it. And everybody who's on this call that didn't go before, you have to go next year. It's life-changing.
Awesome. All right, I'm going to mute you, Stephanie Marie, and Barry is going to share with us. So Barry, I believe that you're unmuted. Barry is going to share with us some takeaways from the Ruby training.
Yes, so we were in the Ruby Senior Ruby training, and I was with Andy and Amy, and it was a great time. We had 4 diamonds training us. Chris McCall
and Casey was there as well, yeah?
Oh,
yeah, and
Casey. We had 4 diamonds, and Chris McCall was the MC. We had, let's see, Melissa Eichenhorst, Helen McFadden, Kristen Abart, and Kelly Norman.
Wow.
I wasn't really familiar with Kelly Norman. I don't know if anybody else has heard of her, but she was pretty awesome. But Kelly has put the pressure on me just to share 3 takeaways from this training and the 10 pages of notes that I have. So I'm going to do my best.
But that doesn't say anything, guys. You need to be picking the brain of your upline. I mean, if Barry is your sponsor, you need to be calling her and saying, tell me all 10 pages, like pour into me, because, and I'm going to do the same thing. I wasn't in that training, so I've already been asking Andy, what do they say? What do they, you know, I mean, I'm pumping in for information because I want to know every single thing I can. So, yeah.
Right.
And this is the 3.
So here's the 3. So one of the most important things was to know your ambassador's whys. Because there's an emotional attachment to those whys, and it's what they're, you know, that's their reason for doing this business. So if you ask them what their emotional attachment is to their why and what it's going to feel like for them when they have that accomplished, then they're going to be like, yeah, let's do this, because that's going to be their whole fuel for their whole business. And let's see, another thing was, if you're only doing what's natural, what comes natural to you, you're only being 25% effective. So you've got to get out of those comfort zones, and you've got to put yourself out there and do things that you don't feel comfortable doing, because, I mean, that's the only way you're going to grow. And the last thing I'm going to share is, this was from Kelly Norman. She said, you make a horrible me, but you make a beautiful you. And that, to me, goes along with everything that I live for, that comparison is the thief of joy. You cannot compare your journey, your story to anybody else, because you are your own person. So those are my 3.
Oh, my gosh. Thank you so much, Barry. I know that Andy talked to me about some of the coaching things that they talked. I mean, just so much information went into these trainings. And so, I mean, you need to be get in the ear of your upline and asking them, please share more. Please share more, not just even about the breakout sessions, but about all the trainings that we went to, because I know that we all took different things away. And my bazillion pages of notes are going to be very different than Barry's, very different than Andy's, just because we're, like Barry said, we're different people, and we're going to relate to different things. So I am going to mute Barry. And I am going to talk a little bit about my training that I went to, and then wrap up by talking a little bit about Leaders Retreat. So I've got 5 minutes left, and I'm going to pack it in here. So I went to the Jewel training, and the first speaker that we had as part of the Jewel training was our president, Alec Clark. And I cannot tell you how impressed I was with him as a man, as the leader of our company, and just as, I mean, I could not say enough good things. He stood there and basically poured out his heart about why he loves us and loves the Plexus business. And he was crying. There was not a dry eye in the Jewel training. And I told Andy, I said, that alone made me know that we are in the right business. The products are great, yes. The people that I've met that are on our team are great, yes. But to know that that's the type of leadership we have was really invaluable as far as a takeaway for me. second. The second thing that the diamonds talked about was balance and how to balance your business. And that's something that I am working on. Things like setting boundaries, having office hours, working your business when it's a business time, and putting your phone on airplane mode when it's not a business building time. One of the diamonds talks about, do not go to your kids' games or go to your kids' practice and have them look up for your recognition and you're staring at your phone. And buddy, that was a big, huge smack in my face. And they talked about, you know, if it's something that's really important, like a call that you have to be on, or you need to be doing something with your team or a prospect, sometimes it's okay to miss that game or miss that practice and sit in your car until that's over, but then turn your phone on airplane mode, put it in do not disturb mode, and then go and be fully engaged with your children or fully engaged with your spouse. There are definitely times when Andy and I go out to eat and I'm on my phone and he's looking at me like, really? We can't spend 5 minutes together, an hour together at a meal without you being on Facebook or accepting a call or a message from one of your downlines? I'm guilty of that, guys, and that's something that I'm working on. And I need to have some more boundaries. And so I'm committed to putting some of those in place because the time freedom that we talk about with Plexus, I want it to be real in my life. And so if I'm answering voice messages that you guys send me at 6 a.m. and at midnight and every hour in between, then there's really not any freedom. I mean, I didn't even do that for my other job. So I do love you guys, but I need a life with my family too. And so I'm working on it. So pray for me to find that balance. And the other thing that was my last takeaway with balance is it's okay to tell your family it's going to be out of balance for a season. So, for example, the month that I went Emerald, my family knew that pretty much all month I was going to be out of balance. And I didn't go to a whole lot of things. And I did spend a lot of time in the car and in my office and at my desk. But I've not had to be that out of balance again. Now, the month that I go Sapphire and the month that Andy goes Emerald will probably be, everybody will be crazy running around with their hair on fire. And that's okay because it's for a short amount of time. So as I wrap up in this last 2-3 minutes, I'm going to share my screen one more time and bring up this graphic that I shared on the Lexus or Bus team page talking about Leaders Retreat. So for those of you who have seen this post, Leaders Retreat is going to be at the Gaylord Resort in Dallas, Texas, October 27th through the 29th. I am super stoked. I was able to go to Leaders Retreat last year. It was at the Gaylord Resort in Washington, D.C. Andy and I were there together, and really that was Andy's first opportunity because he did not go to a convention last year to see how well Plexus treats us as ambassadors. And Leaders Retreat is that. It is a retreat, and it is a reward. So you have to earn it in order to be able to go. And so you can see there the breakdown of the credit. So in order to be even able to go to Leaders Retreat, you have to have 750 credits. Now, there is a breakdown in the email that you received, and there's also a breakdown in your back office under the tools and the communication tools that talk to you about how to earn those credits through new ambassadors, through new customers, and through PD. Now, what does 750 credits mean? Does that mean that you just get an invitation in the mail and then you have to pay for everything yourself? No. The 750 credits means you do get an invitation for yourself and a guest. You cannot bring a downline that is not your spouse or an immediate family member. So you can't tell your downline, hey, if I get it and you don't, I'll bring you with me. So it is something that's elite and you have to earn it. That 750 credits does pay for your hotel room all 3 nights. So that is a big deal. If you've ever stayed at the Gaylord, we're talking about probably $200 plus a night, and that's all covered. There's also different parties that are covered, food that's covered, celebrations that are covered, and so that's all part of that 750 credits. Now, as you start to see the different credits, so $900 or 900 credits, $150 in fund money, that will be something that is put into your account, just like it was for convention if you received the reimbursement for your convention registration, or if you got the $300 travel voucher. Then you can see 1350 credits, private reception, glass cactus. I'm not sure if the glass cactus is a place or if that's the name of the party. I'm excited to find out what that is. $1,900 or 1,900 credits, $750 in happy cash. I'll be super happy if I get $750. And I think that they are calling it happy cash instead of a travel voucher, because then you can use that for whatever you want. For me, that would go towards paying for mine and Andy's plane ticket. They're reimbursing us for that because it is in Dallas. You can see 2,900 credits. They're having a celebrity chef tasting with a Plexus executive, and then 4,000 credits. You've got a $3,000 shopping spree at Nordstrom, airfare, and an additional room night for one. So amazing. All of you that are on this call can qualify for Leaders Retreat. And over on the right, there are 2 different breakdowns to give you an idea of how to get those 750 credits. The top one shows that if you have 500 PD personally in the 3 months of qualification, so June, July, and August, you have 15 new people added to your team in your first 4 levels, and all of them by welcome kit. And you get 3 new customers each of those 3 months. That will earn you 750 credits. Or if you look down below and you have 1,000 PD each of those 3 months, and you add just 5 people in your levels 1 through 4, and then 5 customers each of those next 3 months, or excuse me, for June, July, and August, again, that'll get you to 750 credits as well. It can be broken down a million different ways. That just gives you an idea of a breakdown. But what I do love is when it shows 3 new customers and 5 new customers, it's also going right along with that Club 300 and Club 500. So again, it's a way that Plexus is helping you qualify for those areas of recognition and get the Leaders Retreat at the same time and make money. It's not like that these, when you have that PD, when you add these new people to your team, and when you add new customers, that you're not subsequently getting business building bonuses and commissions on your on that PD. So I'm going to wrap it up. I am just so excited. So many of you joined us tonight, and this will this has been recorded. So I will post it on the Lexus or Bus team page. It'll be on my YouTube channel. So feel free to share it with your downline and come back and reference it if you have questions. And I know that with the spirit of One Plexus, anybody that shared on the call tonight will probably be more than willing to answer any additional questions that you have. If they've shared something with you that was unclear, reach out to your upline, reach out to me. And with that, I'm going to close the call, guys. Thank you so much. I'm going to go ahead and stop recording, and I will see you, I'm sure, over the next few days and weeks as we close out the month.